This man was not guilty of murdering my daughter, okay? Of all the 7 murders that I know of, he did not commit one of them, all right? I feel that he has taken the blame for all of them. And the ones that should be blamed for is Tex Watson.
What do you think of Sharon Tate's mom attending all of your parole hearings?
Sharon Tate's mom has never attended my parole hearings, and she knows I didn't have anything to do with killing her husband.
That's not right, is it, Paul?
No, she goes to Tex.
Who's the one?
Tex took responsibility for that, man. And you read his book? He said he did that. He said he did it because he thought that's what I wanted him to do.
And I hope in no way that I've in any way I've given the impression that I'm trying to blame anything on my parents or blame anything on drugs or blame anything on rock music or blame anything on Manson, because I do take complete responsibility.
I didn't tie anybody up.
Okay.
And I was never on the scene where anyone was killed. I think the law says you can only keep me 17 years or 18 years if I was never on the scene where anyone was killed. I was never on the crime scene of anything.
Have you never felt remorse for the crimes you committed?
What crimes? I told you I haven't committed any crimes.
This confusion belongs to you. It's your confusion. I don't have any confusion. I don't have any guilt. I know what I've done. I didn't kill nobody. I didn't tell nobody to get killed. Okay. I didn't get no trial.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that. See?
I don't know.
We don't want to mix anything up with the truth. Does anyone have any remorse that I've spent 23 years in a solitary cell, and even on Devil's Island, you didn't keep anyone over 5 years? There's another letter in there that you didn't read about how Manson was burned up and how people threw fire on him and they should have killed him. They didn't tell you that they tried to kill me at least 30 or 40 times, that they haven't been able to kill me because I'm right with my God and I'm right with myself, and I didn't break the law.
I told the judge, can't you see what you're doing here? He didn't care. Nobody cared.
He told me that he could understand that they might have wanted to please him, but he never commanded them to do anything like that. And I think it is very possible that he's telling the truth about that.
Vincent Bugliosi, who was, of course, the lead prosecutor, you know, the helter-skelter dude, was doing a morning show at the time and came in, sat down. And as we went live, I said, by the way, I want to get something out of the way. Charles Manson never killed anybody. He went berserk. He said, Hitler never killed anybody. I said, you're comparing Charles Manson to Hitler? The Nazi army? Stuka dive bombers? The SS? What? Hitler? He never killed anybody. He was a great salesman. It occurred to me, I'm kind of on to something. I said, he never killed anybody. He just told people. He's a hell of a salesman. It's like people who convince people to be kamikaze pilots. So anyway, as I did this, Bugliosi went berserk. He said, don't you understand? He told these people to do it. I said, told him. I said, hey, Vince, go out and rob a bank. Bring me the money. Go right now. Go, rob a bank, bring me the money. Now go. I'll stop the interview. I said, now, if you do that, I'm supposed to be charged with robbery?
Do you feel any responsibility for what happened that night?
None.
You feel no remorse for what happened that night?
How am I going to feel remorse? What am I supposed to feel remorse about? Everyone says, you feel no remorse. I said, can't you understand I'm not guilty of anything? And they said, well, you're supposed to feel remorse. I'm supposed to feel remorse because you don't understand, because you're twisted in your brain? In other words, someone comes in and says, you were in New York City last night. You said, no, I wasn't. And they said, well, don't you feel bad about it? You should feel bad about what? Said people that happened in New York City. Man, I wasn't in New York City. I wasn't there. I was in San Diego in bed with some broad I'd met in Big Sur. I didn't have no family. I had a motorcycle, a sleeping bag, and a guitar guy. I just got out of the penitentiary. I hadn't been out of jail long enough to they say, well, you got our kids to do this, knock you out. You had your kids to do that. Your kids were doing that before I got out of the penitentiary. I just got out of jail. Can't you understand that? You tell the people something, and they've got their minds made up a certain way. You dig what I'm saying? And you tell them something, and they just don't know. What am I supposed to feel remorse about? Do you feel remorse that every day of my life you've tormented me with these idiots that you got holding me down? That you beat me and knocked my jaw out, you forced me medication, you drugged me up down hallways, you hit my head on every chopping block in the state of California. You poisoned me, you've done everything. I've puked blood for months and days, man. You've done everything.